Alright, peace, brothers. I wanted to start off with this image because this image represents a person who was put under severe mind control, believe it or not. Fabulous, Chris Brown, a lot of entertainers, they take pictures like these to convey a certain message. Now you see him obviously exposing that left eye. You can't really see his right eye like that, but he's taking a picture in a way to obscure it. And it's like, it's a very, very unusual picture. Like, who takes a picture like this? This is how you know that this was a picture that was based off of him giving off a certain energy because of what he was put under. You feel what I'm saying? It's not going to be conveyed overtly. Like, you have to understand you in regards to being able to like decipher and discern what this is about. Like to the regular eye, it's just Fabulous taking the picture. But to the king eye, in regards to you understanding the hand pose, understanding like why he's covering that one eye and showing that left eye, so on and so forth, the color schemes, then you know what this is really conveying. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why I try to like bring out to brothers and sisters so they could understand. Like the people who don't understand. I'm not saying that everybody don't understand, but the people who don't, it's important for us to know and get a better understanding, get a better edification, and become more elucidated when it comes to the understanding of the false idols, when it comes to the understanding of the esoteric world that we live in. You know what I mean? So this is Fabulous showing you that he was under a severe, ritual abuse. He was under severe ritual abuse. Chris Brown, he took the same photo. But before I get to Chris Brown, I just wanted to cover a few more photos. You see here Lil Nas X, the faggot, the dude that was put under severe programming to where he was in the dissociative state. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you're under this type of programming to where you think that you're a female and you actually like go into like the altar 100%, like this dude is like trying to be Nicki Minaj more than Nicki Minaj. You feel what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. This shit is scary. This shit like really makes you want to throw up looking at this shit, bro. But this just shows you that this man was put under severe mind control for him to have this transformation per se on a day of Halloween. But just showing you that this wasn't necessarily like for Halloween. It's just that on Halloween, they really like to go into their satanic bag, if you will. You feel what I'm saying? They really like to really show you what they're about. It's just that it's easier for them to convey it because obviously it's Halloween and people think that, they just wearing their costumes. It's not, you know what I mean? But they really show you what they worship. I mean, they really show you what they worship in regards to the pagan idols, the false idols, and they really show you what they're about in regards to what takes place behind the curtains. Because they don't tell you about MK Ultra. You got to read up about it. It's not a conspiracy. It's as per a 1977 congressional hearing. It's as per certain books that was written by people who are in the entertainment industry. And I'm going to go into that. I'm going to go into a few excerpts from the book. But you see here YNW Melly and Lil Nas X, the letter X is for the unknown god, Osiris. So it's all in veneration of Osiris in regards to his name. Like these people, these celebrities, they're given these names. 9 times out of 10, they're given these names, especially if they put under the programming. Like Katy Perry, she was given that name, Kitty Purry, because she was under the programming, sex slave programming. And I'm going to go into that. I'm going to read excerpts from a book to prove to you that that's actually true in regards to, certain names that's put on these celebrities, these subjects, these fucking flesh and blood robots. Like this dude right here. YNW Melly, born May 1st, 1999 for Beltane, a degenerate, a murderer. But he's a rapper who's basically put under the programming. That's why he got a cosign from Drake. And we know what Drake is all about. The great dragon, the great serpent. You know what I mean? The biggest Luciferian in the entertainment industry, aside from Jay-Z, is Drake. So you see here, him with the ring, with the pentagram ring. That's not a star. That's for the pentagram. That's for the goat god. You know what I mean? For the Baphomet. And they say that the ring finger connects with the heart, which goes into like, the whole tradition of a man bowing down to a woman and proposing to her. That's all Greco-Roman mores and credos and shit like that. That's not of the Most High. You're not supposed to bow down before anybody, let alone a goddamn woman. That's some real simp idolatry shit. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to bow down, on your knees to a woman and give her a fucking ring. That's just nonsense. And I don't give a fuck who don't agree with that. I believe in the truth about the scriptures, the truth about this world. And it's scarce, the truth about this world. These things that we go into in regards to the customs and the mores and the rights of this world is 100% contrary to the Heavenly Father. That's why we got to come back to him in truth and sincerity so we can be the ones that's distinct from this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Now you see the yellow in the background for enlightenment to show you that he was put under a certain programming to where he would, he would be enlightened. He would be given all this wealth and so on and so forth. But there's a price to pay when you in Lucifer's chamber, per se. So you see here with the album, You Shine, I Shine, We All Shine. You know what I mean? For the blue, the divine blue. And you see him throwing up the Masonic hand signs to show you that he was put under the programming. You shine, I shine, we all shine. He was born in Florida, the Sunshine State. Now this is Melly versus Melvin. Going into that MK Ultra aspect, to which is multiple personality disorder, dissociative disorder, or dissociative disorder. You feel what I'm saying? This is mixed personalities. And you see what? He's conveying that left eye and that right eye. On the right side, he's conveying his right eye. On the left side, he's conveying his left eye to show you what he's about. You know what I mean? Or his right hand, he's promoting the left eye, and on his left hand, or whatever, just how we see it, we see that he's promoting the left eye and the right eye. I'm just confusing myself talking, but excuse me. He's promoting that energy of the mother goddess and the sun god. You know what I mean? Horus and Isis. Really going back to Nimrod and Semiramis, mother and child, or wife and mother, wife and husband, or wife and son, excuse me, because Nimrod married his mother. It's crazy. So Jamel Maurice Demons. The man's name is Jamel Maurice Demons. His last name is Demons, and he was born on May 1st, 1999. When you understand MK Ultra, right? In regards to when they go to the parents, 9 times out of 10, they tell them that they have to make certain ends meet, according to numerology. So, there was probably somebody in her ear in which it was made manifest that she conceived on a certain day to where she would be pregnant and, push out that baby on May 1st, 1999. Now I could be reaching, but you have situations like that, like Tory Lanez, or certain other celebrities in which it's according to the numbers. You feel what I'm saying? Like Kobe Bryant, so on and so forth. Not talking about necessarily when he was born, but just his whole script. You feel what I'm saying? So Jamel Maurice Demons, born May 1st, 1999, known professionally as YMW Melly, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter from Guilford, Florida. He is best known for his songs Murder on My Mind, Mixed Personalities, and Suicidal. The first is considered his breakout, which garnered even further attention after the rapper was charged with double murder of 2 members of YNW, an abbreviation of Young Nigga World. Hip Hop Collective, he released his debut album Melly vs. Melvin on November 22nd, 2019. So just to, dive a little bit more into mixed personalities, multiple personalities, I wanted to go into Bryce Taylor's book and just cover, an excerpt from the book in regards to chapter 1, the creation of the human robot. So it says here, my name is Susan Lynn Eckhart Ford, and I am a 48-year-old native Californian. Until 1995, I suffered from a debilitating condition known as multiple personality disorder. In 1985, I embarked on the long and tedious, painful road to recovery. Through years of therapy and deprogramming, I completely reintegrated my multiple personalities back into my uniform core self, and through the grace of God, I am alive today to convey to you my true life experiences. The account of my remembrances will be so shocking and amazing that you may feel that you have entered the twilight zone. Many waking up today call this making a paradigm shift in reality. I call it knowing the truth. But do keep your faith in God and humanity, for as my father reminded me day after day, the truth will set you free. My multiple personality condition resulted from what I had first thought in 1986 was solely sexual and ritual abuse. But as I began to heal and remember more of my hidden past, I realized that ritual abuse was merely the mind-controlled trauma-based my ritually abused program pedophile father Calvin Charles Eckhart and others used to condition me for participation in the still active top secret Project Monarch, the Central Intelligence Agency's white slavery operation that is related to MK Ultra and its numerous sub-projects. I was raised in the affluent area of Woodland Hills, California, but was abused my entire life in many locations in and out of California, including hospitals, universities, and United States military and NASA bases. And that's the common places. You know what I mean? Those are the common places, especially on a military base, where I was subjected to high level programming. And that's these celebrities. They're subjected to high level programming, the result of many years of trauma intentionally inflicted on me by my father and others to create within me multiple personalities. And that's what it is. That's why you have these celebrities with alters, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, all these rappers, Kendrick Lamar, because they were put under MK Ultra, man. They put under MK Ultra. Was that I was transformed into a programmed, totally robotical slave that could not remember to think or tell what happened to me due to the mind control and sophisticated program I was under, disassociative programming. I was used frequently to child and adolescent prostitution and pornography. That's crazy. But my preteen years, I had many personalities, especially programmed to be the perfect sex slave, a presidential model with government mind files and a photographic memory equipped to deliver most often through sexual encounters, messages, some cryptic, to top government officials, entertainers, and other world figures. Wow. From 1987 to 1991, I was in intensive daily therapy in California, remembering a complex childhood that now has been validated in part through intelligence community, CIA, and FBI contacts, active and retired, as well as through investigative journalists, knowledgeable mental health professionals, and family members. In my quest for understanding and self-knowledge, I attended school to attain my master's degree in psychology, but in April of 1991, I was forced to leave my home and family in California due to a clever plot and threat to my life if I continued to pursue remembrance of my past in therapy and try to become healed. One of my therapists, Margaret Paul, PhD, who had a PhD, who is also a popular author, suggested that for my safety, I should leave Los Angeles for a while. Upon her recommendation, I fled to the island of Kauai, Hawaii, where unbeknownst to me, I was still a part of the project and still not free. After I fled from California and was no longer living in the midst of the program abuse base, nor was I in therapy, I began having vivid, detailed memories of being used both as a sex slave and human mind file computer to some of our nation's highest level governmental officials in and out of the White House. Among them, John F. Kennedy, sex and delivered messages. Lyndon Baines Johnson, sex and delivered messages. Henry Kissinger, masterminded my U.S. government and international mind file use. Nelson Rockefeller, mind file use. Gerald Ford, sex and delivered messages. Jimmy Carter, delivered messages. Ronald Reagan, sex and delivered messages. George Bush, mind file use. He is a known pedophile and had sex with my program daughter Kelly. And top entertainment professionals such as my owner Bob Hope, sex and message courier. The media surrounding the expose of Bob Hope's secret life and the books written by Arthur Marks, The Secret Life of Bob Hope, and Lawrence J. Quirk's recent book, Bob Hope, The Road Well Traveled, begin to portray some examples of the flaws to Bob's seemingly all-American patriotic and family-loving public image. My controllers and abusers were not low-level criminals, but instead were some of the so-called adored leaders and entertainers of our country. I felt so alone and horrified and terrified as I began to break free from the control I was under. Catherine Gold, PhD, an internationally known therapist with years of experience treating ritual abuse victims, explained that she couldn't be my therapist for fear of losing her license or being sued since she seen I was a high-level survivor. At that time, although I had begun to have memories of being with Ronald Reagan during the time he was governor of California and other government officials, due to the fact that I was still under mind control, I had no way of understanding what high level meant. At that time, many therapists, including my own Margie Paul, were beginning to have their licenses pulled and often suffered professional consequences for treating ritual abuse survivors, especially those who were high level. In April of 1991, when I fled to the island of Kauai, Catherine agreed to consult with me by phone and advised me to write a book which resulted in starshine, one woman's violent escape from mind control. She further advised me to continue documenting the names, dates, and places of my abuse in an effort to one day go public in order to free my husband, my children, and myself. Over the next year on an island, I recovered more of my memory, but was devastated to be separated from my children and tried to adjust to a radically changed lifestyle, including the fact that I was now living without my family, friends, and loved ones and had very limited finances. I was overwhelmed with grief, carrying a burden a few wanted to seriously look at. Several people stepped forward to help me in whatever ways they could, offering emotional support and friendship, some even financial support when I ran out of money, but no one could really keep me safe, and I was fully deprogrammed from inside of myself so I could not be assessed. To reiterate, a vitally important fact, until I was fully deprogrammed, I was not safe. In 1991, there was no one who knew when I was talking about who could help me. I had to find myself within myself. I had to find help within myself. I'm getting a little messed up with this because I don't have my glasses on, so it's a little difficult. So excuse me, you guys. And I did. Throughout my healing process, angels guided me when I was too afraid to connect with Christ due to the satanic ritual abuse I had endured in the church as a child. The angels continually led me to the books and incredible people, thereby fulfilling God's plan for my eventual freedom. Now, that's her belief, and to each his own, but that's not of any truth in regards to the true understanding of the Heavenly Father. But that's another story here. No, that's neither here nor there. Since multi-generationally abused and traumatized victims are selected for the mind control projects, my 3 children, Kevin, Kelly, and Danny, were naturally trained to follow in my footsteps as assets of my controllers, except for Kelly. They are still locked into their abuse base, despite my efforts to get help for them. Their similarly programmed father, unfortunately, does not have a clue as yet, and so all legal custody has been taken away from me by the state of California. Toward the goal of getting my children free, I have spent years desperately documenting my past, a task at which some of our top government officials and entertainers would have liked to see me fail. My affluent abusers made sure that I was instilled with very sophisticated programming that would ensure my death should I begin to remember or tell. Despite the fact that I was programmed to have an accident, self-mutilate, to kill myself, I am healthy, in control of my own mind, and have no intentions of hurting myself in any manner. I am healthy, in control of my own mind, and have no intentions of hurting myself in any manner. I am taking extreme precaution through publicizing this autobiographical account to encumber these power mongers from stopping my efforts to attain and help for my affected children. It is in hopes for freeing them and the many other suffering adults and children locked into the hands of mind control projects that I share my experience. So I wanted to go into the butterfly aspect of MK Ultra known as Project Monarch. So let's get into it. Project Monarch, a mind control program developed within MK Ultra, is named after the monarch butterfly, which, like many animals, seems to have some kind of hardwired behavior within them. The butterfly's migration period is longer than the lifespan of the butterfly, but the baby butterflies that are born en route still end up traveling to the same place. With mind control, the objective is to condition subjects in such a way that they end up acting without consciously thinking. It becomes instinct. During the process of gaining control over someone's mind, the handler will create a series of triggers which sets off a behavior in that person, i.e. when you saw, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Shaq, when he froze up on Inside the NBA, or like Draymond Green during some of his press conferences where he just freezes, or in certain performances that you watch from these celebrities where you can tell that they're going into their alter ego because it's all based in, that MK Ultra programming, as well as the understanding of being disassociated, going into the monarch programming. You know what I mean? During the process of gaining control over someone's mind, the handler will create a series of triggers which sets off a behavior in that person. People who have been under the influence of this program won't be aware that it's a trigger, so it works on a subconscious level. This technique was used in MK Ultra program And a common symbol of this became the butterfly, which is why you have To Pimp a Butterfly from Kendrick Lamar, giving you that understanding on the subconscious level of him being under programming, under monarch programming. Another theory of why the butterfly is used is that it's a symbol of transformation. The caterpillar emerges from its cocoon, unrecognizable in comparison to its former self. This video, now this was taken from an article in which there was a video going into the monarch, butterfly control, but it was really long, so I just wanted to take a little tidbit of this article. This video quotes the Dalai Lama to suggest that the butterfly could be seen as a very cold symbol devoid of emotion. From this perspective, the butterfly never meets its mother and has to fend for itself and experiences little kindness. It could be a symbol of a detached home life, and the Dalai Lama suggests that someone that grows up in this environment will find it very difficult to show compassion and empathy for others. Are they just a fashion trend, or could they be something more sinister? A symbol planted to trigger certain values or behaviors. If it's a trend, why are they commonly placed over one eye or the mouth? Because it's not a trend. Well, it is a trend, but it's not a trend in regards to a fashion trend. It's a trend in regards to them being programmed. They're all under the programming. So that's why you see them associated with the butterfly, associated with like Disney, Mickey Mouse, so on and so forth, because they're under programming. And these images, they basically convey, the esotericism. You feel what I'm saying? These people, they damage. They fucking damage, So Antonio Brown. Now, this was a video of a song featuring Rick Ross. Antonio Brown, let you know that he was under monarch programming. You see the butterfly aspect there. He's under monarch programming. And his handler is Tom Brady. That's why he signed with the Bucks. And Tom Brady reached a level to where he can position himself to be a handler based off of him winning 6 rings. You feel what I'm saying? He reached that level now. His handler is his wife, Tom Brady's handler. Antonio is a good friend of mine. And again, we've gotten to know each other pretty well over the years. Brady told Gray. That sounds real sus. Really, really sus. So he's just getting settled. And I know he's looking for places, but it's just nice to be able to have him around. And we're getting to work, and he likes to be integrated into what we're doing. Big transition for him moving across the state, really not knowing anyone. So, again, just trying to be a great teammate and help someone out who's a friend of mine. Usually a guy who's looking for a place to live stays in a hotel. I agree. Brown definitely can afford it. This one feels like something more than hospitality. Exactly. This is like borderline like on a homosexual level. But when it comes to the Luciferian understanding in regards to the entertainment industry, they go into that. They believe in sex magic, but this might not be that, but this is definitely a dynamic in which Tom Brady is the handler for Antonio Brown. Tom Brady is a MK Ultra handler, as well as, a lot of these celebrities. A lot of these celebrities are handlers. And, most of them are assets as well. They're handlers and they're assets at the same time. Brady seems to be taking Brown under Brady's wing and essentially becoming responsible for Brown. He's obviously a very hard worker, and he's working his way into the program, into the Bucks program, Brady said. He's been involved in a lot of meetings. He hasn't been able to do any practices yet, but I know he's been kind of training and getting ready for it. The official preparation begins tomorrow. When Brown returns to practice in 5 days, Brown will make his debut on Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football for the Sun God. They always let you know certain things based off of, certain veneration practices and so on and so forth. Even though, Sunday is a day that's, tradition for football, but it's a reason why that day, because, you also have Monday Night Football, so on and so forth. You guys just saw the, the GOAT ring on the finger of Antonio Brown, just letting you know that he worships the GOAT, the androgynous deity, the Baphomet per se, Pan. But when you look at the composite in regards to the Baphomet, it's the coming together of opposites, as I always touch on. And this is basically a veneration practice coming from Lil Nas X, in which he's basically Nicki Minaj for Halloween. Now, as abominable as this is, there's a reason for this. It's all esoteric. It's not just some shit where he's provoking the masses. I mean, he's doing that too with his nonsensical, nasty ass. It's even hard to look at this photo, but It's a reason for this, and it's all based in the veneration practice, the veneration of the Baphomet, the coming together of opposites, the androgynous deity. And you see this dude in his disassociative state to where he's basically absent-minded. He's not in his own mind. He's out of it. He thinks he's a fucking woman. That's you being so confused to the point where that MK Ultra shit, it makes it worse for you. You feel what I'm saying? Or that probably was something to where he was put under that programming. You know what I mean? Lil Nas X, X meaning Osiris, the unknown god or the hidden god, Osiris. That's what the X is representative for. So I just wanted to touch on the YNW component once more in regards to, certain aspects of why this guy was put under MK Ultra. So he was associated with Kanye West, Lil B, Lil Key, and T Grizzly. Now we know Kanye West, heavily fractured human being in regards to him being put under torture and programming. He was someone that was under programming to which he had to go back and be reprogrammed based off of what happened in 2016 when he had that rant, and then they gave him the blonde hair, which showed that he was under Harpocrates programming, the god of silence. That's what the blonde hair is for. The blonde hair is for Harpocrates. But you see here, the label that he was signed to was 300. We know Leon Cohen. You know what I mean? Leon Cohen was a big Luciferian, ardent Luciferian, and he told DMX to jump in the pool full of blood. You know what I mean? I don't know if I touched on this in the beginning of this video, but just to go back to it, if I did, man, it's important for us to understand, just so we can connect the dots. So in February 2019, Florida rappers YNW Melly and YNW Bortland were arrested for the murder of aspiring rappers Anthony YNW Sackchaser Williams and Christopher YNW Juvie Thomas Jr. Now, almost 2 years after Melly's incarceration, the rapper is being sued by the estates of Thomas and Williams, as TMZ reports. According to TMZ, Williams and Thomas estates have filed wrongful death lawsuits against Melly. The damages claims are reportedly in the millions or tens of millions of dollars or more. According to court documents viewed by TMZ, the suit filed by Anthony Williams' estate reportedly claims that Melly killed him over money and that greed was a factor in the alleged murders. Melly's mother and his manager are also reportedly named in both suits. Nelly's mother and his manager. So his mother is probably his handler, or his mother probably aided in him being, put under that sort of programming. His mother and his manager are also reportedly named in both suits. The Williams estate reportedly alleges that Melly's manager transported Melly from the scene of the crime. Yeah, that shit, man, it's all based on him probably having an altar to where he didn't even know where he was. Because when we covered it, it's all based in understanding that these people, they become absent-minded when they do what they do. They don't know. They're Manchurian candidates. They're flesh and blood robots. So this right here is a rapper, King Von. Once again, the pentagram ring. And he has on the orange shirt to represent enlightenment. This was before he died. You know what I mean? This was the photo he took before he died to let you know that he was going to die. In regards to what takes place in the entertainment industry, people, they think that you just say shit to say shit. No, man. You have to understand what colors represent, what numbers represent, why certain things happen on certain days, so on and so forth. Don't just come and scoff and just talk your shit just because you hear somebody say, oh, he got on an orange shirt, so that means he's going to die. Like, don't just simplify it that way to make it sound as if it's some crazy conspiracy, because you have to understand how it works in context. The orange is for enlightenment. Orange represents the number 33 in regards to gematria. They believe in the laws of numbers, numerology, so on and so forth. That's why Kobe Bryant, he wore orange before he passed away, and he had on the hat for Eagle, Colorado. The Eagles hat. Also for Philadelphia, but it was more so representative of Eagle, Colorado, as well as the eagle for Horus. You know what I mean? It's all based in esotericism and understanding certain things based off of aspects of events with numerology and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Because Kobe Bryant was put under a certain level of programming. You know what I mean? But this guy, King Von, he was signed to Lil Durk's label, Only the Family. He was signed to Lil Durk's label. Now, Lil Durk, when he first came into the entertainment industry, he was under French Montana. And he was just, a regular young aspiring rapper. He had a nice fan base and all that. But he's really at a certain level now to where he's at the heights of Luciferianism. And the reason why that is because you see these components. He did a song with Drake. The first song he ever did was Drake, and you see him in the blonde hair. That represents that he keeps the secrets. You know what I mean? The god of silence, Harpocrates, the keeping of the secrets. So when they put you in with the blonde hair in regards to, the programming in regards to MK Ultra, that means that you've been enlightened to a certain level where you got to hold the secrets. So that, goes in conjunction with sacrifice. King Von was a sacrifice for Lil Durk. There's no coincidence that Lil Durk gets on a song with Drake, Laugh Now, Cry Later, when we know the status of a Drake. It's like people were surprised to hear Lil Durk on a song with Drake, because Drake is at a level where it's like if you get on a song with Drake, then you pretty much you on that status now. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's like getting the Jay-Z verse to a degree. So it's the same thing that represent that you at a certain level where, okay, it makes sense that King Von would sacrifice in light of where Lil Durk is at in his career. You get what I'm saying? So look at Lil Durk. You know what I mean? He probably was put under some level of programming here. He looked like he's under some disassociated program, but not to the degree that he is now. And also wearing the black for Saturn. Oh, why you gotta wear all black for Saturn? Why you can't just be wearing black? I know I'm gonna hear that, but you gotta understand what the entertainment industry is about, man. You see Lil Durk with the blonde hair, right? The blonde, and look how different he look. Look at all the tats, the little tattoo on his chin. If that's, that's that's some other shit. I guess that's like eczema or whatever. He got like bad skin, but yeah, man, the man got the bright blonde hair for Harpocrates to let you know that he is keeping the secrets he would never tell. You know what I mean? And he got on that little peach orange kind of shirt for enlightenment. So this here is King Von, right? This is from Lil Durk. The whole twin aspect has been very, very prevalent in 2020. But you see here, it says, "My twin gone. I love you, baby bro. D Roy." I don't know who D Roy is, but yeah, I guess that's Durk or whatever. But yeah, that's Durk letting you know that this man, he was under MK Ultra. You know what I mean? And not King Von, excuse me. I'm talking about Durk in regards to him having to be put under that programming to where he reached a certain level. And now, you got people that sign under his wing, and you got to commit a spade. You got to commit a sacrifice. So Durk is going to take off. His career is going to propel. You know what I mean? And you see this hand pose right here that King Von is doing to let you know that he's keeping the secrets. This is a Masonic hand symbol, believe it or not. You see here. It's similar to this hand signal here. I'm trying to zoom in, won't allow me to for some reason. This phone is acting crazy, but you guys can see it on the far right on the bottom there, and also on the far left on the bottom there, which is basically based in the Masonic hand symbol of keeping the secrets. You know what I mean? That's all that is. So you see it, Chris Brown. Plain and simple, letting you know what he's about, man. And this is basically the same image that you saw of Fabulous, like in the same pose. You feel me? Letting you know that he was under heavy MK Ultra. You know what I mean? Electroshock treatment, so on and so forth. You could tell that this man was under heavy MK Ultra, man. And he's covering that right eye to let you know he worships the mother goddess. That's why he had to be put through that ritual where he beat on Rihanna and be shamed. That's all based in him having to go through that based off of his programming, right? And he has the blonde hair for Harpocrates. This is Harpocrates, the god of silence. You know what I mean? This little thing on the left, I guess that's from some sort of movie or whatever, but that's Harpocrates, The god of silence. Harpocrates is basically Cupid, Now, I just wanted to go into this aspect of Tupac. I'm sure you guys saw this photo before in one of my videos. I just wanted to go into it because there's another photo that's similar to it. I showed the Kendrick Lamar photo. We know that this is the Caduceus, the intertwining of serpents, in which it represents Hermes' staff. You know what I mean? So it's all based in the worship system of Kush, the moon god. The Caduceus, an ancient Greek or Roman herald's wand, typically one with two serpents twined around it, carried by the messenger god Hermes or Mercury. a representation of this traditionally associated with healing. So when you put into the programming, you worship Hermes and all this because it's all based in, healing in regards to the Caduceus when it comes to the Roman sect. You know what I mean? You see Jadakiss with the Caduceus. Jadakiss letting you know that he's a part of the programming. You know what I mean? Jadakiss is a Luciferian. Great rapper, great dope lyricist and MC, but he is a Luciferian. You have to